This is KGW News at noon.
As we open up eligibility to all Oregonians on May 1st, I remain committed to the equitable distribution of vaccines for seniors, frontline workers, and Oregonians with underlying health conditions.
Oregon's speeding up its vaccination effort. It's preparing to make all Oregonians eligible to get a shot on May 1st. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. Within the last hour, Governor Kate Brown announced the state's updated timeline. Here's a breakdown of who's next in line. Starting March 22nd, counties that have mostly vaccinated people 65 and older can begin vaccinating the next eligible groups. Migrant and seasonal farm workers can also book an appointment. Starting March 29th, people in Group 6 of Phase 1B are eligible. That includes those 45 to 64-year-olds with underlying health conditions and people experiencing homelessness. Then on April 19th, certain frontline workers and people living in multi-generational households are eligible. Also, people 16 to 44 with underlying conditions. And finally, all Oregonians 16 and older can book a shot on May 1st. That's 2 months ahead of schedule.
The Oregon Health Authority tells me that provided supplies come in from the federal government as anticipated, we expect to have enough doses for every Oregonian who wants a vaccine to have the opportunity for at least a first dose by the end of May.
By early next week, the Oregon Health Authority expects 1 million Oregonians to be vaccinated. That's almost 1 in 3 people. The OHA says it's a sign we're making progress. Well, in less than 2 weeks, 2 million people in Washington will become eligible for the vaccine earlier than expected. Governor Inslee says those over the age of 60 and those who work in places like restaurants and construction can start booking appointments on March 31st. Students in Portland Public Schools will start hybrid in-person learning on April 1st. The district and the teachers union reached a deal earlier this week and the school board approved it last night. So here's the plan. Pre-K through first grade starts April 1st and April 2nd. Grades 2 through 5 go back April 5th, and 6th through 12th graders start the week of April 19th. Families who want their kids to finish the year online will still have the option to do that. The CDC updated its guidelines for social distancing in classrooms. Students wearing masks can now sit 3 feet apart. The previous recommendation was 6 feet. It's a different story, though. In common areas, students should continue staying 6 feet apart in cafeterias and during assemblies and sporting events. Teachers should also stay 6 feet away from students and other adults. Well, next week, a lot of schools are on spring break. And as Keely Chalmers reports, colleges have ramped up COVID testing and encouraged students and staff to stay home this year.
It's finals week at Portland State University. In just a couple days, the always anticipated spring break begins. But this year, many students are spending their break by staying put.
For spring break, I'm going to go outside a lot and enjoy the weather.
I know I'm staying and I'm having my mom come up and visit me, but I think most people are staying, actually.
The university is asking students and staff to stay close to home. Its Center for Student Health and Counseling will remain open over the break to offer COVID testing, but it's not requiring students to get tested.
This is no time to let down your guard.
Oregon State University is. It's required all of its residence hall students be tested and will do so again post-spring break.
And our residence hall students will continue to be required to be tested within 3 days of their return.
These past couple weeks, Oregon State ramped up its COVID-19 testing about 3,500 people per week. And while a recent sampling of wastewater in Corvallis found an increase in the amount of COVID-19 virus in the area, the school says cases on campus are declining.
The number of positive cases involving our students in the Corvallis campus have numbered 28 and 29. That's down, from February 10th from 119.
Still, the school's asking students and staff to stay close to home for spring break, and if they do travel, to self-isolate for 7 days when they return, in addition to taking a COVID test. Because while the COVID cases on campus are declining, the risk continues.
Continue to wear face coverings and engage in physical and social distancing. Observe your symptoms. Do not let your guard down.
Keely Chalmers, KGW News.